Hey, Snarkers! This is Reality Snark, and I'm Tracy, your humble host. I hope you're doing well today, and I ask that you will click like and subscribe so that I can keep bringing you my very unimportant thoughts that I hope you enjoy. We are up to the episode where Kody takes Christine and her children to Las Vegas for a little getaway. And I guess at this point, this was still very early in the show. Kody is trying to sell the pretense that he is a great husband and father, and he takes time out with each of his wives and all of their children separately so that they can feel special and loved and cared for by their dad or husband, whichever he is to them. I bet you dollars to donuts he had some ulterior motive for going to Vegas. I don't know what it was, but hey, Christine loves Vegas. She and I have so much in common when it comes to the things we like. Halloween, Vegas. If I were to find out she was a big cat lover like I am, wow. I just know we'd be friends. Christine, if you're out there, call me. So they go to Vegas and they stay at this really nice hotel, the Lowe's Hotel, and I can't remember if that's the whole name of it, but I know it was a Lowe's hotel. Those are usually pretty nice. And they get, as Kody puts it, a flippin' villa. So I imagine that TLC had something to do with that. But it's nice. They've got a good big room with a little kitchenette for them and all their kids. They've got separate bedrooms and so forth. So it's a nice little junket. Before they go, oh, I forgot about this. Before they go, while they're heading out the door, Kody tries to pawn off some of his errands on Mary. It's like, oh yeah, why don't you take all this dry cleaning in for me? And he's got the trunk of his car is just filled with dry cleaning. And Mary just kind of looks at it and goes, yeah, I'm going to be too busy partying and having a good time while you're gone. I don't even like Mary, but I was cheering her on in that moment. That was awesome. Anyway, back to Vegas. Christine says that she was the quote-unquote new wife for 16 years and was very comfortable in that role, as I can only imagine you would be. And that Kody and she had a good relationship, that for most of the 16, 17 years that they have been married, it's been bliss. She says there were a couple of hard years where they struggled, but really, for the most part, it's been bliss. And it wasn't until he married Robin that she started to feel less than. She started to feel insignificant. And she started to have trouble. Well, girl, your instincts were right on. I got to tell you, people don't give their instincts enough credit. And as human beings, of course, we're not perfect. And sometimes even our instincts can be wrong. But 9 times out of 10, your instincts are right on. And if you're feeling deep down in your gut that something's not right, you're probably right. So listen. The good Lord gave you those instincts for a reason. And oh yes, they also mentioned that there's a big Christian population in Las Vegas. And I know a lot of people probably hear this and think, huh? It's Sin City. But I do remember many years ago when I was a young girl in my 20s, I was friendly with this couple who both came from Seventh Adventist families. And they talked about how once a year they got to go to Vegas with the wife's parents because there was this big Seventh Adventist convention, and how a lot of religions had their conventions there in Vegas. And if you think about it, it makes sense. There's lots of hotels, there's lots of options for dining, there's lots to do. I mean, my husband and I, when we go to Vegas, we like to gamble and hit a girly show, but there's so much more to do than that. And we've also done other things there besides those two activities. So, yeah, there is a lot there to be done. And there is a Christian population there. Back home, the ladies are talking on the couch, and Robin makes a dig about how Christine is older, and it must have been hard to get pregnant and have a baby at her age. Now, I believe Christine was 37, 38 when she had Truly, And of course, I think anything over 34 is considered advanced maternal age. Let me tell you, when I had my son at 40, I just loved all my medical paperwork saying advanced maternal age on it. But I digress. Lots of women have babies in their mid to late 30s, and lots of women these days are having babies in their early and mid 40s, and you even hear of it beyond. So, you know what? Suck it, Robin. You don't know everything. My maternal grandmother had her last child at 47. Yeah, think about that. Robin also makes the remark that it would be weird to have her husband around all the time. That didn't age well, did it, Robin? Because his ass is around all the time now. And boy, I'll get back to this later when it starts to happen. But has Robin aged aggressively since she's had Kody on her hands all the time? As I could only imagine you would. I mean, that's a pretty negative influence, at least from my observations. And Robin went from being almost cute in kind of a homely way to just really looking worn down and kind of bloated in a very short period of time. And I wouldn't comment so much on her looks if it weren't for the fact, and we'll talk about this more later too, that she made comments about the other wives' weight and stretch marks and things like that, and how Kody still loved them even though they were fat and stretch marked. Well, I hate to tell you, honey, but having babies will do that. And as Robin has had five, six kids, yeah, I imagine she's got some stretch marks too, and we can see that she's gained weight. So be careful what you say about others, Robin. And Janelle says that Kody isn't a lot of work, but he is work. So it's kind of nice sometimes when she can just be by herself with her kids. Oh my God, can I imagine how much nicer it would be? You know, if someone like Kody comes into a room and you just tense, you just feel tension. I mean, I watch him on television and I feel tension. I can't imagine what it's like to be sharing actual space and air with the man. And that had to have an effect on the kids as well. So yeah, I can imagine it would be nice to not have him around. Mary, unfortunately, has to tell Kody while he's off on his break that she had a great job that she loved, but she was basically fired. No, honey, you weren't basically fired. You were fired. And she looks into the camera and says that it was because she has sister wives. Now, I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe it is because she had sister wives, and it's a completely legitimate statement. However, Mary, and we'll get into this more as we go along, I can only imagine what kind of person Mary is to deal with in the workplace. She's got a very strong personality, and she has a way of speaking to people that has an authoritative air, and she really comes across to me as a bully. When I look at her facial cues, when I look at her body language, and when I listen to the things that she says to the other wives and to the kids, and even to Kody, I see someone who's a bully. And you know we're getting her best self on TV. So imagine what she's like in real life. Now, some of the older kids have come out and said point blank that Mary was not easy. I can't say their exact words because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. But I'm sure if you're watching this, you're well aware of the claims that have been made against Mary. And I believe it. Some people argue that no, she was just being the disciplinarian. Well, fair enough. Because yes, kids do have to be disciplined. And Christine and Janelle, Janelle was kind of let's let the other person do it when it came to discipline. And Christine was just too bubbly and patient and sweet to really be much of a disciplinarian. But I can totally see Kody and Mary being over the line with these kids. I believe it, and I think if you really watch and you really listen, I think you'll see it too. So, to that end, I wonder if Mary was fired because she had sister wives, or if Mary was fired because she was unpleasant and they were looking for a reason to get rid of her, and that was as good as any. You tell me. I would be very interested to hear what you say in the comments. Even if you completely disagree with me and you think Mary was awesome and a good person and a good mom and pleasant and fun and great, and you think I'm just talking out my ass, let me know, because I need to hear that. They take the kids bowling, and none of the kids want to ride with Robin. There's this scene where Mary goes, "Who wants to ride with Robin?" And no one raises their hand. I think Dayton eventually stands up and goes and hugs his mom, and that's nice enough. But yeah, nobody wanted to ride with Robin. So that's all I have to say about that episode. But please, if you are struggling with your mental health, dial 988 and reach for help, because you are needed, you are necessary, and you are loved. Have a great day.